Hi Birbsquad, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ryan. This is Pupples, my Quaker Parrot, today's star of the show. And this little dude right here is Yoshi, my yellow-sided green-cheeked parakeet, also known as a conure. If you Birbs want to be a part of the strongest flock here on YouTube, go ahead and pack that subscribe button down below and become a member of the Birbsquad. So a few of you, and when I say a few, I mean a lot of you, express your concerns with me on your Quaker Parrot and how to tame and earn the trust with your Quaker. They're scared of your hands, they're screaming all the time, attacking your significant other or other family members, or just an overall create a bond with your Quaker. All of that will be answered to you in today's video because all of these concerns, I've actually had personal experience with all of them, and I almost got them completely eliminated. So if you Birbs are wanting to eventually be able to do this, or this, step up. Oh, you're a good boy, Pupples. This, I love you. Or just all in all, just be able to do this. Oh, your booty. Oh, there you go. I can definitely show you how to get there. So let's just fly on in to the video. Step number 1, creating the strategy. Quaker Parrots in the wild are very territorial and aggressive creatures when it comes to defending what's theirs. So for that initial bonding and earning the trust of your Quaker, it's all going to be focused under one word: distraction. The goal is to not let them get into that aggressive territorial mindset. Because once they go from like here to way up here, it's going to be a lot harder to bring them back down. So we got to keep them in this constant, nice level of calmness as much as possible and as much as we can. This mindset where they just like a flip of the switch, they go into this territorial, defending what's mine, aggressive, territorial behavior. This is what I call Quaker Mode. We want to make sure they don't get into Quaker Mode. So we are going to use distraction and redirecting their behaviors so they don't get into Quaker Mode. Don't worry, if they do get in that mindset with you, it's not impossible to get them out of it. I'll show you two different situations where Pupples almost got into that Quaker Mode mindset, but I stopped him before it got that far. Also, I'm going to show you when he is in Quaker Mode and he is in that aggressive territorial mindset and he went from way down here to way up here. I'm going to show you how to get him out of it. For now, until we know that that bond is there, we are to not use our hands and we are using no discipline whatsoever. Step number 2. Different cages, different toys. In the wild, during the night, Quakers roost in their nest. And during the day, they spend all day foraging. We need to implement this as much as we can in captivity. And a great option to do so is having 2 separate cages. It may sound crazy, but think about it. You can have one cage that is dedicated to sleeping. This is where your Quaker goes to bed at night. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It doesn't need toys. Definitely have a water dispenser in there for him, but it doesn't need to be anything fancy. The sole purpose of this cage is sleeping. And then the other cage is fun and it's got foraging toys. This is a great option for you if you work all day or if you go to school all day, because in the morning before you go off to work, school, whatever, you could take him out of his bed and move him into the fun cage, and that's where he could spend his day playing and foraging and doing what Quakers do. If you don't want to go this route, which I totally understand because Pupples and Yoshi share a cage and we've had no issue, but I still recommend that once you do come home, you take him out of that cage as soon as possible and move him into a different room. The goal is that he socializes with not only you, but the entire family. So even if your family's not interacting with him a lot, the fact that he's in there in a different room away from that cage and he's eating or he's playing with some other toys is away from the source that keeps him territorial and aggressive. Constantly switch up his toys. If you notice even the slightest behavior of being territorial over a toy, switch it up, remove it. He is allowed to have his favorite toys, but he's not allowed to be mean. And we will get more into that in my next video. I discuss on how to discipline him, but remember, in this bonding phase, we don't do any discipline. We just redirect his behavior so he doesn't go from here to here. Step number 3, no hands, no hesitation. When trying to create that bond, keep the hands out of it. Parrots are normally pretty scared when it comes to hands. And you may have noticed that your Quaker is very bitey when he sees those hands. Keep them covered. Wear a long sleeve shirt, wear a jacket, whatever. Just keep those hands somewhat covered and don't use them. Don't try to handle him right now. I want him to fall in love with all this. Not all this right now. Introduce these later on, because if he trusts this, there's a higher chance that he's going to trust all this later on. You like head scratches, huh? Yeah, you like head scratches. Whether you're trying to get your bird out of the cage, off a perch, whatever it is, have a plan in mind on how you're going to approach this. This will honestly take some practice because you're going to have to get a feel for how your bird reacts to certain situations and get a good feel of his body language. So let me show you exactly what I'm meaning.
So what you want to do when your bird gets into Quaker mode, and this could be whether he's in his cage or on a specific perch, you don't want to try to push the issue. What you can do is obviously never offer your hand, but you can use just a little perch. This one is just a little piece off of their play gym, and you could just offer that to them. Now, if they're just like snapping at it like crazy, they're going nuts, take a break. But I wouldn't leave the room. I would maybe sit down, read a book, whatever. Just let them calm down. Let them go from up here to back down here. You want them in this calm state. You can do more for them by just giving them their space, and that means you just sit down, read a book, whatever. Don't leave the room. Don't give them treats. Let them calm down. That is a Quaker in Quaker mode. Treat? You want a bite? Yeah, get you a bite off of that. Good job. Yoshi, come up here. Good boy. As you guys can see, Popples and Yoshi are doing great. I was able to pet Popples. I can probably even give him a kiss right now. Hey boys, give me a kiss. Oh, he's a good boy. Now watch Popples' mood change when I give them their bowls of food. There you go. Yeah. This older clip is Popples when he was very food aggressive. You notice that he is mad, not in like full-blown Quaker mode. He's just, hey, get away from me, this is mine type attitude. And the way to redirect that behavior, obviously you don't offer your hand during the bonding phase, keep the hands out of it, but you can offer him a perch to step on. You can offer him a treat by doing this. You can offer him the perch. If that doesn't work, next you can try offering him the perch, but with the treat in hand. So keep his eyes on this part. Don't let his eyes focus on that perch. Keep him up here looking at this treat. He steps up. Now, if this is too much for your bird, if he's freaking out like, oh my gosh, there's a perch, there's another hand holding a treat, do at that point is do both at the same time. This is a little risky because you don't want him to come down to get that treat because more than likely he may bite you. But this all depends on what your bird, what level of fear he's at, what level of the bonding's at. Just get a feel for what your bird is up to, what he's thinking. You'll get a feel for your bird specifically because they are all different. I keep my other hand behind my back so it's not too much for him. Also play around with not looking at him. So if you can do it from the side but still have somewhat control so he doesn't bite you, step up. Good boy. And then get him away from that perch, but redirect his behavior, distract him, get him away from what is making him aggressive. Good boy. And before you know, you'll be able to do that, huh? And stand on my hand without even biting me. You can see from that clip, he wasn't thrilled by me being near him, but he wasn't in full-blown Quaker mode. So at that point, there is a chance that you can distract him. There's a chance that you can snap his brain out of it with redirecting his behavior before he gets to the extreme. Because it is so much harder to get him back to normal once he's in like, mode. You don't want him in that. So the more and more that you can keep him in a calm state, the faster that your bond is going to grow. And the less likely you're going to have to worry about behavioral issues. Don't let it go up here. Snap him out of it. Snap his brain out of it down here. Keep in mind, he's not mad at you. It's his brain. It's his instincts. It's everything telling him what he thinks he's supposed to do. So you want to snap him out of it. Another thing that you can do to redirect his behavior now if you've taught him to step up, and I feel like this is very important that you teach all your birds to at least step up. Bubbles is more used to my hand at this point, so the perches actually kind of weird him out because he's so used to my hands. It's always good to keep him doing both, you know, sometimes offer a perch, sometimes offer a hand, just to have that good healthy mixture to where he will step up for just about anything. Obviously, you don't want to do this at the bonding phase, but just to give you an idea, step up, step up, good boy, step up, step up. This is a good way to redirect his behavior. Good boy. If he's starting to get a little feisty, give him a task. Give him some exercise. This isn't birdie boot camp. You don't need to make him drop down and give you 30. Just make him step up a couple times. Snap his brain out of it by giving him a task, giving him exercise. Don't just focus on stopping the behavior right now. You want to bond with him. Just want to say, hey, I'm your friend. Let's work together. Let's figure things out together as a team. But before you know it, you'll be able to do this, touch his food, and it's not a problem. I could touch the perch. Not a problem.
Step number 4, trying to teach him to step up. Do not train him ever on his cage. Remember, the cage is his territory. So of course, if you go near it or be handsy or whatever, he's not going to want to cooperate. If he's got that territorial issue and you're sticking your finger out over there, you're basically putting your hand into the fire. So prepare for the burn. Get a training perch, whether it's one that you find online or you can make one out of PVC like I made in my previous video. Take him to a different room. Practice telling him to step up.
You're training your bird, never let him go from here up. As you can see, Popples is going on my shoulder. When a bird is new and when a bird is bitey like that, you don't want him going up here because you can't really control him and you don't know if he's going to attack your face. So it's best if you keep him where he is, out of there. No. You want to keep him like from here to the elbow. So if he does go up like Popples did, this is how you get him off. You never do this because as you notice, Popples just went up even farther. What you want to do is lean up like this because birds naturally want to go up. They don't want to go down. Into your perch. Good boy. He naturally wants to go up, so he has a higher chance of going back on this perch and away from your face.
Step 5, attacking the family. This may need to be a separate video all on its own, depending on the severity of some of the cases that you guys personally dealing with. But just to give you some insight, it may be because he's possessive over you. Quakers are typically a one-person bird unless you socialize them well with the rest of the family. Have your family member do one-on-one training with your Quaker and you stay completely out of it. If you are the problem as to why this Quaker is not liking the rest of their family, you need to stay out of it and let your Quaker build a bond with other family members without you being there. And once the family member and the Quaker are doing really good with the training, everything's going well, start popping in every now and then. Just a couple seconds just to see how things go, and then you work your way into the training sessions more and more. Step 6, screaming. Quakers are chatterers. They're not screamers. So if they're screaming, something needs to change. They need plenty of mind-stimulating activities. Quakers are naturally shredders and they're chewers. And there's one specific YouTuber here that I can recommend to you that she's actually a streamer as well. And she makes DIY parrot toys all the time. And if you go to her stream and tell her that you have a Quaker, she could definitely help you out and show you some toys to make that will be very mind-stimulating. Just tell her you have a Quaker, she'll know what to do. And your Quaker may be wanting your attention. If you notice that every time you leave the room, your Quaker like squawks for you, which squawking is normal, screaming is not. So a way around this is when they're chattering, reward that behavior. I don't ever recommend that you try to get your parrot to just shut up because Quakers are chatterers. It's normal, it's healthy for them to chatter. When they are chattering, reward that behavior. Let them know that that's what you want them to do. Give them a treat. Find a treat that you can hold on to so it keeps them there with you for a long period of time so they don't just take the treat and run off. Keep the household appliances pretty low. Birds in general, not just Quakers, tend to compete with household appliances, whether it's the blender, the vacuum cleaner, running water, the TV. Weaving is another good option. This isn't something I've done with Popples yet, but I'm definitely considering it because it looks like it would be a fun activity for him to do. But I can link Flock Talk's tutorial on how to teach your bird to weave. It's a great video and it's very informative, so I recommend you check that out as well. All of these steps you may be thinking, okay, well, you told us basically how to take care of behavioral issues. Where's the bonding? Where's the earning the trust? Well, actually, we did both. Got them out of their cage and taught them to be social as a family. Interaction and positive reinforcements to avoid the aggressive behaviors. Even if it's something teaching them to step up or go back to their perch, this will do wonders. You're spending quality time with your bird and avoiding reaching those aggressive behaviors. Screaming and teaching them to chatter. For Quaker Parrots, chattering is healthy, it keeps them calm, and it's a healthy way to express emotions. Creating that bond with a Quaker Parrot is all about focusing on quality time with your Quaker and not letting them get into Quaker mode. More and more sessions that you have with your Quaker, whether it's training them, putting them from perch to perch, socializing with them, getting them away from that cage, and not letting them get into Quaker mode, you will notice more and more sessions later that your bird is getting calmer, there's less behavioral issues, and if they are still going on, they don't go extreme because you stop it at the source. A few ways that you can tell that your bond is forming is number one, when your Quaker is walking over to you completely on his own. Squawking for you when you leave the room. Not the most desirable way of showing love, but hey, it's a start, huh? You approach his cage and you notice that his face is like all looking at you at the bars. He's not hiding in the corner. That's a good sign that he wants out, he wants to socialize with you, and he's not going to bite. Feeding him treats without being defensive, and you notice that he doesn't like grab it and try to run off. He'll just hang out with you and he'll eat that treat beside you without any issues. Those are all good signs that your relationship, your bond, is starting to form. Now, if you've established this bond with your Quaker Parrot, but you notice that he's still aggressive and sometimes just randomly out of nowhere aggressive over his cage or a toy or food, turn it into Mr. Birdie Bitey Butthole. He's not scared of your hands, and you can feel that you two have a solid friendship, but these behavioral issues are still going on. I want to cover how to stop that when redirecting their behavior just simply does not do the job all the time. When how to discipline your Quaker Parrot. And the reason why I didn't cover all of that in this video is because you need to focus on just the bond right now. The bond is the foundation of the relationship with your bird. No bond equals no respect, no authority. There's no glue there keeping you and your parrot together. So in that video, we are going to get down to the nitty-gritty. I'm going to show you how to stop it all completely. But for now, this week, I want you just to focus and work on that bond and make sure that you two are tight. Alright, Birbs, that is it from us today. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to flap that like button. And while you're at it, pack that subscribe button down below to become a member of the Birbsquad. If you'd like to chirp at me on my socials, both my Instagram and Twitter are at Victoria Ryan. If you're a gamer Birb, fly on over to my Twitch. I stream Subnautica every Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a random multiplayer game where I play with you Birbs every Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you Birbs in my next video. Bye, Birbsquad!